So
Cool.
I know that you have a psychology degree. She's an educated girl. Do you feel like, it has helped you with parenting?
Nobody has ever asked me that question before, and I really appreciate that. Because yes, I studied growth and child development at Pepperdine University, and that's what my psych major was in. And I am constantly pulling from what I've learned in school. And the one thing that has stayed with me for all of these years as a
Mhm.
parent is children learn through observation. So
Yes.
you can sit there and you can tell them everything. You can tell them what to do, tell them how you want it to be done. But if you're not doing it yourself, then it's not going to stick. Like they really have to see you acting out those behaviors and those learnings that you are telling them about. It's also just helped me with understanding and having patience with their development when it
Yeah.
comes to just their growth, going from, being a newborn to a toddler to now my son being a teenager. Um,
Isn't that crazy? It's so crazy
yeah,
because I remember seeing photos of you being pregnant with Ku, which is like years ago. I feel like I was in high
yeah.
school or something. And now it's like he's literally growing, playing basketball, doing all those things.
It, I feel like kids, when you have children, or even if you're just, around children, they are the best time markers
Yeah.
because you, if you're going from 30 to 40, you're like, okay, you may see little slight differences or whatever. But with children, going from 0 to 10 or
Yeah.
10 to 20 is a massive difference. Um,
Well, they just keep
and then
growing.
they do, they constantly keep on growing. And my son, let me just tell you that. I'm like, bro, I just bought you like new shoes. How are you out of these shoes already?
Yeah, especially with boys, they grow so fast
Whew,
and they grow so tall. You know what I
they
mean?
do.
I
It's
mean,
so
speaking of even
fascinating.
being younger, what would you have told your younger self? Like before you had Creed, before you had Cairo, what would you have told Tia? Like from Tia and
Mm,
Tamara back in the day when you guys were just
yeah,
having fun being teenagers yourself, like you have literally one boy, one girl. What would you have
yeah.
told?
I would have told myself, um, don't worry about things that you can't necessarily control. Um, don't focus on the negative. Continue to embrace and love on you and be authentic to who you are, because that is going to benefit you in the long run.
Yeah,
And know that even though you are going through these different changes in life, whether it's career, whether it's, adolescence or whatever, um, everything is going to be okay. And your life will evolve into the way that it was always meant to be. So just enjoy that roller coaster. When you're on a roller coaster, you know that there are these ups and downs and
yeah.
there are screams. Some people cry. Some people are
Put the arms up, do all the things.
terrified, right? Terrified. But they know that at the end of that roller coaster, it's going to be over.
Of
So
course.
they enjoy it. They enjoy it. So I would, tell my younger self, just enjoy the ride. You know what I mean? Because eventually you're going to end up where you need to be. All of this
Yeah.
is for a reason.
I
So,
also feel like whenever I have kids, I've always wanted to say, like, I want my kids to look up to me based on everything that I'm doing. I want to be the best person I
mm-hmm,
want to be for myself before having kids. And I feel like
mm-hmm.
you do that. Like, you're such an
Oh,
inspiration. Like, outside of an actor, you're also such an
thank
influencer.
you.
You're
Thank you.
lively. You know what I mean? And you love your
Mm,
community. And I feel
I
like,
do.
the older that they get, kids are so smart, even at the
They
little
are.
age that they are, they watch you so hard. So
Oh,
yeah, you're amazing.
thank
Like
you.
you're an inspiration.
Uh, I
It's
really,
amazing to
really,
watch.
I really, really appreciate that because My kids, they motivate me
Yeah, of course.
to, continue to do what I do. I know that they're watching.
Yeah.
And
And they're
I,
watching hard because you're that
yeah,
person.
yes. And I can see like these little, nuances, with my daughter. I'm like, she's so strong and she's so independent and she's like this little, she's a Taurus and she's like this little bull. And I'm like, Tia, that's because you are. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like she really, and they sense and they really pick up your energy. I'm a huge believer of energy. Um, and the same thing with my son. I'm like, children are resilient, but he is so resilient to be able to transfer different schools. He was in one school where there was no homework zone to now having lots of homework and balancing this huge curriculum. The way that he has gone through this transition, I am like,
Period.
look at you
But it's
go.
because
And I
you're
was
also
like,
a hard worker. I feel like
yes,
you're Tia who always keeps a job. She's
yes,
always
yes.
working so hard. And
Well,
I'm
yes.
like, you go, girl. Because there's so many
Thank
people
you.
cheering for you. So I hope you know that
Thank
too.
you.
All right. Since we
I
were
really
kids, we've
appreciate that.
all been cheering for you and your sister. So you guys are
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you
Um,
very much.
even growing up, so I know that you and Gabrielle Union have like such a great relationship. How does it
Yes.
feel to like grow up in the industry together and then now you guys have kids who are similar ages and
I
seeing your
know.
kids just like be friends? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great. And Gab and I, we are very intentional when it comes to the play group, that the kids, have. And what I mean by that is we are both very passionate about our community and we're both very passionate about representation. So to be able to have our kids grow up, side by side from one another and say, "Ooh, you know what? You look like me and I see you swimming. You know how to swim? Well, if you can do it, then guess what? I can do it too." And I'm just a huge believer, if you see it, you be it. And I actually really see that with this beautiful dynamic between Cairo and Kavya. Cairo learned how to swim and wanted to swim because of Kavya.
Oh,
Um,
I love that.
and so I feel like that's just one example, to be said. And there's many more. But it's great. It's fantastic. And Gab is a fantastic mother. She is so incredible. I mean, she's juggling a lot too. She has this huge career that she's, building and growing. And to be able to support, we're all about supporting also, each other in our endeavors.
I mean,
Because we
because you
know the
have a
importance.
huge career too. You know what I mean?
Thank
It's like you have
you.
a career and finding that
Yeah,
time to make for one another and then make it for your kids. I think that says a lot
thank
about both of you
you.
guys as just women, as moms, and
Um,
everything. So
yes,
like even what advice would you give to a new mom coming from, you're a career woman and
yes.
there's a lot of either younger girls or older women that are just having babies for the first time and they need some Pampers, they need to get it
Yes.
together. All right.
That's so that's what I actually want to talk about. I feel like, when I became a new mom, I had heard about blowouts, but I didn't really understand a blowout until an actual blowout actually happened. When it
Yeah.
happens to you, it's just something that's just so unpredictable. It's not something that you can plan, and it could be overwhelming and embarrassing and fearful at the same time. And trust me, I have my stories, and I have many of them.
Yeah.
So the advice that I would give, of course, new moms is definitely, I feel like, Pampers, Swaddlers, new blowout barrier diaper, it's life changing. It's like a life changer. Especially, for moms that are busy and on the go. This is a diaper that helps prevent up to 100% leaks and blowouts, making
Wow.
your life easier and one less thing, to worry about. Um, I think it's definitely something that all moms, and new parents should know about. So that's one tip. Pampers, Swaddlers, they have you covered with these new diapers. And then, I think just take everything as it goes. Take everything a day at a time. Not every day is going to look the same. And, sometimes that can get overwhelming at times, because the more consistency there is, the more there's some sort of familiarity. You start to feel comfortable and you don't have as much anxiety. But when you're a new mom and when you have a new baby, something new is going to be happening every single day. And just go with the flow. Know that you got it. Know that I know for me, I can only, speak from my own personal experiences. I remember when I was struggling as a new mother, I was like, gosh, this is so hard. Like, there are millions and millions and millions. And let's talk about my ancestors, my grandmother, my great grandmother. They all were moms and they all got through it. They all did it.
And we're still there for you and still supporting you and still loving you.
Exactly. So I think just knowing that there's this huge community of support out there and this community of moms that want to help you out, they're there for you. And you got this. So
I guess this takes me to my last question. So who are some of the moms that you look up to, like that, inspires you? And, when you first had your two babies, like, what made you say, like, wow, I know you said your ancestors, but someone that's like tangible in your life right now, who are you looking up to? Like, wow, if I need a question, if you are worried about something, who's your first phone call, or maybe your second or third, because not everyone picks up on the first time.
I mean, I have two in mind, and I think number one, it's definitely my mother. I mean, my mother,
Island Queen. I'm also Caribbean, so it's like,
I love that. Shoot.
They're always there for you and strong.
Always very strong. My mother, she had twins at a young age. She was 21 when she had, my sister and myself. She was in a foreign country. She was in Germany at the time. She wasn't around a lot of people that were speaking, English. She was young and married. But she did it. And I've learned from my mother, I think the most, just how strong I can be because of her strength. It's not easy raising 4 children, especially 3 in the industry. And for her to have navigated something new, she was not in this, she knew nothing about, this world. I feel like she did such an incredible job. And just, as a mother, what she taught me is, again, through observation, that she didn't allow her existing situation at the time to be the prerequisite to where her future was going to be. She had such a tough childhood. It was rough, but she didn't let that circumstance define what her future was going to be like. And I always, till this day, lean on that. No matter where I am in my life, if I'm going through some challenges or some struggles at this time and at this moment, it's only for a season. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be my life forever. And so my mother has taught me that. And then also Gabrielle Union, to have been, by her side, and to have such an amazing friendship with her, I'm able to see how she juggles it all. She's a wife, she's the mother, she's an entrepreneur, she's an actress. And it's not easy wearing all of those hats. No. And to see her do it with such love and grace, is so beautiful. And, she's always encouraging me and I'm always encouraging her. And I think that's what sisterhood is all about. And, motherhood. So I'm just very grateful to have just, women like that, currently in my life that I look up to.
I love that for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. No problem.
Rooting for you. Keep going.
Thank you.
And literally keep giving us life on the internet because we need it. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your words.
Of course. Bye, beautiful. Nice meeting you.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Michaela.